Hello, my amigos. It's time for another memory of the month. This is a cute one, so stay tuned. So I was just thinking of a memory that I had about my son Brad, and just how we have to teach him everything really discreetly, one thing at a time, because it's very hard for him to generalize. This was probably like 10 years ago, maybe even more, but we were, having dinner, my husband, myself, and Brad. And Brad, just very, casually looks at my husband and I and said, "Do you guys have sex?" And so I was like, I'm like, "Brad, you're not supposed to ask people that. How come?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm your mom, and usually, young men in their 20s don't talk to their mom about her sex life." And I said, "You usually just don't ask people, if they're having sex." He's like, "Oh, okay." So I just told him that, and but then we just started seeing other things, like he would ask people who they voted for. So we had to go and say, "Hey, Brad, you know what? Like, we know you see all these political ads on TV, and you voted one time, and that was really exciting, but you really shouldn't ask people who they voted for." "Well, how come?" "Well, because it's just kind of personal. You don't ask that." "Okay." But then we heard Bradley, guess what? He got a refund check in the mail from the IRS. He got a tax refund. Guess what he was asking everybody? "How much was your tax refund?" So we had to go talk to Bradley. "Hey, Brad, those are one of those private questions you don't ask people." "Okay." And he's asking people, "How much do you make a year? How much did your car cost?" Just questions you don't ask people. And so, like, how many times have you been married? Just things like that. So it's just kind of just a reminder that a lot of times with people with autism or disabilities, that they're not able to really generalize. That if you don't talk to people about something like sex that's private, you probably shouldn't ask them like who they vote for, how much they make, how much their tax refund was, how much their house cost, things like that. So just a reminder for us all that, again, sometimes some, kids, typical people, we just generalize things. We learn one lesson and we can kind of generalize it to the rest of our lives. But we find with people with autism, when they're young, they're just not able to generalize those things. We have to teach every single situation discreetly and one at a time, that one's not going to carry over for the other one. And this was one of those times that just made me think of it. So if you have a funny story about something that you never thought you'd have to teach your child, but you actually had to teach your child, leave it below. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to, talk and share our funny stories about just the kind of the cute and endearing things our kids do in our lives. And thank you so much for following Life with the Side of Autism. Other videos are coming soon. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.